Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Robert Star Phoenix. I hope everyone's having a good, well, it's morning since it's 3 a.m. when I'm recording this. I wanted to do, because I had been requested by several people, I wanted to do a tutorial video on one way to start out in Stardew Valley. Now, I did one in the past on my Twitch stream, and it kind of worked and it kind of didn't. And because the game has been updated since then, I decided that I should just go ahead and re-record it. So now, bear in mind that there's no wrong way to start this game. However, I've been asked by a lot of people because I currently, at the time of recording this, have roughly about 4,500 hours in this game. And I've been asked by a lot of people, what is an efficient way to make a lot of money to start the game off? And I said, well, there's a couple things I know. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a couple of things in the game. One, I'm going to start a brand new game, obviously. We're going to use the default farm, the one that's called Standard here. And we're going to call this one... I'm just going to call this an R-star. I'm going to call the farm Tutorial Farm. And my favorite thing, I'm going to say... I don't know. I should have said make my favorite thing. I'll say my favorite thing is water. I'm gonna skip the intro. If you guys really need to see the intro, you can play the game yourself, or you can watch a stream that goes through everything. Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna select the dog because I'm not a cat person. And I'm gonna take a few moments just to customize my character real quick. I kind of already know what character model I'm going to use. There we go. That's the hairstyle I want. It kind of looks like the Sora. Straight black. Almost kind of an orangey color. If I can get it to line up right. It's really hard to line up the colors sometimes. There we go. Close enough. Shirt. We're gonna just do the basic black shirt. And the pants color, I'm going to actually go with the purple. Why? Because why not? I want something that's bright enough you can actually see it, but dark enough. There we go. Alright, so character creation can be pretty quick. There's also accessories. You can put glasses and masks and stuff on your character, but I'm just going to leave them the way it is. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit OK, get started. Okay. Now there's a couple things I always tell people when they start playing the game. Go into your settings, your options, turn on this always show tool hit location. This will help you tremendously. And then I'm going to... Unfortunately, I wish they would unbreak this. Because this used to stay... I tend to zoom this out as far as I can go. It zooms out to 75%. This way here I get the best area I can see. And we're going to turn the music down a touch. I turn it down a lot. I love the music in the game, but for the purposes of this video, I don't want it super loud. And plus, in my headphones, it actually... Woo! There we go. Alright, so you're starting off on your farm, brand new. What the heck am I doing? Okay, so right click on your fireplace, it'll help later. Right click on this, this will give you some seeds, and you get a note saying, okay, here's something to get you started. And then right click on your TV, you want to watch the weather report. It should always be clear and sunny on day 2, it's just the way the game works. There is a small chance it could rain, but generally it's a sunny day. Fortune teller. This is random. You can get anywhere from an unlucky day to a really lucky day. It does affect certain aspects of the RNG in the game. Don't let it bother you too much. The luck doesn't play like a humongous factor in the game. But it does help. And then the third channel is typically either living off the land or a cooking channel. Read this, especially if it's your first playthrough. So this is the brand new message. So this was for all you greenhorns. That means noobs. Chop the wood, search for wild forage, and earn some cash. We're actually going to be doing that today. So click up here, journal, or you can hit the F button if you're playing the PC. This run might not work the same if you're playing the console version, so you may have to make adjustments to it. So getting started, it says cultivate a parsnip, and then introductions. It says 2 here because if you watch the intro, you already meet the mayor and you already meet Robin the carpenter. And Robin the carpenter pretty much trolls you about your house being in horrible shape. Like I said again, if you want to see that, just watch it. Alright, so we're going to go outside. First thing you want to do, first thing I like to do is I like to rearrange my tools in some semblance of an order that makes sense to me. So I will go scythe, hoe, scythe, axe, pickaxe, and hoe, and then watering can and leave the parsnips. When you start out the game, you can only hold 12 items. That does improve over time, but we won't worry about that right now. And the time up here will move when you're not in menus. It will constantly move, so if you want to pause the game, put it into a menu. Now, bear in mind, this only works in a single-player game. This does have a co-op, so you can play with up to 4 of your friends on the PC version. Currently only on the Steam version at the time this is being recorded. And it doesn't pause unless the host actually types in a pause command, which I can't show you that because I'm playing the single player. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to gather 50 pieces of wood, because you want to make a box or a chest to store your items in, because you don't have any storage space. I mean, your tools are literally taking up half your space. So we're going to go do some clearing. The scythe does not use up any energy, so you can hack bushes like this all day long. But what we want is we want to get at the trees like this. So I'm going to take my axe, and it's going to take a lot of hits, unfortunately. When you're just starting out, your weapons are, your tools are weak, and you don't have a whole lot of energy. So, and you're going to have to chop some of this stuff up. Try not to chop up too much of that grass right there. It will come in handy at a later date. But if you have to chop a little bit of it, go ahead, because you do have to walk through it, so you may want to cut a pathway through some of it to help your walking speed. Alright. And you notice I'm only going after the big trees and not all the little garbage things on the ground, because I want to concentrate on getting the 50 wood. Usually 3 trees is enough to get the 50 wood. Alright, and we're going to walk around. And there we go, we have 51 wood. And you might vary a little bit, you might end up with 48 or something like that, so if you end up short, just knock a couple of these out, like this, to get your 50. Alright, so you open up your menu, go to crafting, make a chest. And you can plant this chest anywhere for the sake of argument. I'm going to stick right here. And when you open it, you can change colors. Use the colors to tell you what it is. And you can put other stuff up later, but not for now. I'm just going to make it blue. And I'm going to put away the stuff here, these 3 things. And I'm going to leave the rest of this stuff in my inventory right now. Next step is I got to make some room here. So now you want to make this one close to your pond over here. What you're going to do is you're going to make some room to plant. So you want to clear enough space to plant. So use your axe, use your pickaxe to break the rocks. Just make just enough room. And then your scythe. This right here is a pretty solid amount of space what I just opened up. And then starting from like right about here, use the mailbox as a guide. And you want to dig up 15 spots of ground right here. Then take your parsnips and just plant them in. Now, there's a small possibility you might lose 1 or 2 because of various things in the game, like crows will come and take the crops out of the ground. You might lose them to storms, but generally speaking, once you plant them, they're good to go. And don't forget to fill up your watering can afterward. So we're going to go back to our box, just drop, and we're going to drop everything, including the watering can, because we don't need a watering can anymore. Everything else I'm going to hold on to because there are things that you walk into that you might want to clear out. So it's a good idea to keep them. There's still plenty of space. So we'll go walk into the, we're going to walk into town. And the first thing you want to do is look right up in here. The RNG will vary, but see, I've got some, these are forageables. So I got lucky, I picked up a couple of items. If you get lucky and find a couple, awesome. Oh, there's one more right here. And you have to look real careful because it'll hide behind stuff sometimes. So I've got 2 leeks and a dandelion. It's actually going to be really good, so I'm starting off really good. And now we're going to go introduce ourselves to as many people as we can comfortably do. So I'm going to walk into the clinic first. And you right-click on everything to interact with it. I'm going to skip through the text. You guys can go back and read it. You can pause the video and read it after. But each time you make that conversation, it counts as an introduction. Right-click on this. This is the calendar. This shows you special events and people's birthdays. Now, if you want to start advancing relationships in the game, you want to try to get gifts for people. Right now, you don't really have a whole lot of money or options for gifting. But it's generally a good idea to give people something decent. So if you, like your parsnips, for instance, you can keep a couple. You can give them to like Lewis, for instance. He likes vegetables. I mean, he'll be nice to you about it. And you'll get heart levels with people, which you can check your heart levels by going to your social here. Anybody you haven't met yet will show up as question marks. It basically shows people's faces, and it lets you know that these people still need to be talked to. Anybody that says single, these are people you can develop like romantic relationships with at some point. And yes, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. This is a homogenous game in that regard. All right, so we're going to go into the store here. Even though this guy isn't introducing himself, this counts as an introduction. Just talk to him twice. That's Gus, the saloon owner. This is Marnie. She owns the a livestock farm. This is Abigail. She's pretty much a goth girl. And then you have to walk in here and talk to her mom, Caroline. She'll eventually come out on her own, but I usually save some time by talking to her. And she'll even tell you, the guy up front's my husband, and the girl with the purple hair is my daughter. Now, the shopkeepers, like anybody behind the counter, you actually have to walk behind the counter to actually talk to them. Otherwise, if you don't, you're just going to interact with the shop. Even though you're still technically talking to them, you're talking to the shop. Right now, you really don't have to worry too much about what type of vegetables you want to buy. I do recommend, until you decide if you want to do the story arcs in the game, to buy at least 1 bean starter and 1 cauliflower. Reason being is that you want to have some degree of backup for in case you decide you want to do specific quest in the game. As part of the storyline, as part of the storyline of the game. So, buy 1 bean and right-click just to buy a single one. Buy 1 cauliflower. And then buy as many potatoes as you can afford. If you need more money, if you picked up any forageables, you can click on them and sell them to Pierre. So, since I've got rows of 5, the way I've planted everything, I'm going to buy, see, I got those 2, so I want to buy 8, because I want to keep them in rows of 5. And I've got 120. I could buy more, but I don't want to just yet. I will buy 5 more of these, because the parsnips are decent. The potatoes actually make you a good amount of money. And yeah, you could sell them back if you goof up, but hopefully you didn't. If you don't have enough money to buy exactly everything I did, buy at least 1 of each of these and as many potatoes as you can afford. And then if you have any left over, you can come back. Or if you have more money than me, you could buy as much as you think you can handle planting. There are more options. Like you have flowers, you have kale, more flowers, and then everything else down here is stuff for later on, really. Kale and the flowers are nice, but you probably won't mess with these because they don't give you farming experience the same way. And we're looking to make money and also get your experience levels up. Which, by the way, you can access your experience levels by clicking on your face up here. And it shows you what your skill levels are. Everything is level 0 because we just started out. Alright, so we got taken care of all of those introductions. I'm going to walk south. This is going to be kind of a roundabout way of doing it, but I want to talk to this guy. Hopefully, if you're around noon, you'll do this. You'll run into Sam. And then you can also talk to Penny right here because she's usually hanging out. And then talk to Leah here. Leah actually is a pretty easy person to get a hold of. You may not necessarily see Haley. She's a blonde-haired girl. If you don't see her, no big deal. Walk in here, talk to the little kid, and then talk to Jody here. Jody's a like a stay-at-home mom pretty much. And then we're gonna take a quick swing out this way because there's one other person I tend to miss. Usually you don't catch every single person on your first date. It's almost impossible to do it. But we're doing this for a couple of reasons. One, we're gonna go talk to the one person that is out here. We're gonna talk to the other little kid. She's just skipping rope out in the middle of the forest. Remember, talk to her twice. Don't worry about chopping any of this up just yet, but do take a walk around. Familiarize yourself with the forest. If you find any more forageables, like any grabbable plants, you can put your mouse cursor over it. If you see a little green plus sign next to it, that means you can pick it up. But just take a quick walk around. Eventually, you are going to work on cleaning all this stuff up because part of your job is to clean that up. Talk to her, even though she won't talk back to you. Talk to her. Make sure you get the introduction in. That's Haley, by the way. Everybody has their own quirky personalities and things that they like and dislike. Okay, so I don't see too many forageables up this way. That I can tell anyway. Oh, speaking of devil, there's one. A horseradish. Oh, another dandelion. Okay, excellent. Now, I'm not going to go back to Pierre and sell them because I've got enough seeds. I'm going to be a while planting anyway. And then, yeah, walk through here. And then this little island over here is important. This is where you're going to come pick up some very valuable food, hopefully. There are onions that grow in these little patches, but sometimes they don't show up. Oh, there they are. There's a couple right there. Like I said, this varies depending on the RNG. So I've got 6, and there's some that grow down there too. Oh, look at this. I got a couple more horseradishes. I got a horseradish there. Excuse me, by the way. Horseradish there. There you go. Okay, so RNG's actually is being kind to me, pretty much. We may not have time to talk to many other people, but we're just going to do a quick run around the rest of the valley. I don't have a whole lot of room for other stuff, so my inventory's almost full. And yeah, we're going to clean up these little bits of trash that are everywhere in the valley too, in the town. But odds are we're not going to... Oh, and okay, yeah, so it's about 3 o'clock. He's going to be standing here. This is Elliot. So it's a good thing that you ran into him. Now, come down this way. Alright, so if you see these little worm-looking things right here like this, whack them, and you'll get a random treasure. Ooh, crap, it's loud. So I don't have enough room for this stuff, unfortunately, so... I'm going to eat this dandelion. You can right-click it on yourself and eat it. It actually gives you energy. So you notice my energy bar went up over here. And I'm going to grab that clamshell. And you can walk around the rest of the beach. There's another part of the beach, but we can't get at it yet because we don't have the ability to access it. And then you can also click on these if you find stuff. Like, I don't have enough room for it. I don't care about this particular item. Now, while it says this is trash, it actually is useful. So we're just going to hit OK. We're going to get rid of it. I'm not going to open up the rest. Okay. We're going to talk to this girl. And then we're going to talk to the old lady here. We're going to go into the... Nope. We're going to talk to Alex real quick here. Then we're going to go into the saloon. And we're going to talk to the blue-haired girl back here. Yeah, we're not doing too bad on our introductions. You can always go check your introduction. So I've only got 8 people left, which is really good. Talk to her. So my name's Pam. Don't be a jerk. Talk to the old guy in the wheelchair here. All right. I don't think we're gonna come back to the saloon on our other trip around. There's more stuff up here that you can forage too, but since I don't have enough room, I'm not gonna go grab it. If you have time, make a second trip out and grab forageables if you find any more. Yeah, talk to this guy right here. Then I'm gonna hit this and see what it is. And it's a crud. It's something I actually want. That's an artifact. Alright, so we're gonna click on this clam. We're gonna click up here. The clam's gonna drop here. It'll stay there, don't worry. We'll come back and get it in a second. Because we actually have to come back up this way and then talk to this guy here. Yeah, he lives in this little tent here. And you'll learn everybody's stories eventually. And then we're going to take a quick walk through here. We're actually going to cycle our way back here. Now, because I've got so much stuff here, I have to make an extra trip. And sometimes this will happen to you, sometimes it won't. Like I say, your game will behave differently than mine. Alright, so we're going to just chop our way through here real quick. Just enough to get back down to our box. We're going to drop everything in here. And turn right around and go back. Like I said, we're going to make a couple of different trips. And we're going to basically, I'm slingshotting myself. Because there's a couple of people I want to talk to. I think I'm actually going to get lucky and get everybody on the first run. But we're going to slingshot our way back around because we want to go pick up. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're going to get this guy here. I think I will get everybody. Oh, that's actually kind of fortunate. Sebastian's kind of an emo kid too. So yeah, go back and pick up your clamshell that you left behind. So if we look now, I should only have like one person. Yeah, so these 2 people here and then these 2 people here. So I'm going to be able to get everybody. The bottom 2 guys here, the guy that looks like the wizard and then this old looking guy here, he's a fisherman. These 2 guys you can't talk to on the first day no matter what. So these are the last 2 guys here. I'm going to be able to get both of them, so I'm going to get everybody. Except for the one. The fisherman will take care of himself. You'll actually be forced to meet him. Because of an event that he pretty much says, hey, we're going to go up here. I'm going to actually do this now. I'm just going to clean out this little thing. There's no particular reason for this that I can remember. I know there's something that goes here, but I can't remember what it does. Now I'm just going to walk around and clean this stuff up. Usually once you clean those little weeds up, they don't come back, so... And picking up the extra fiber and stuff is a nice thing to do. Alright, so we're going to make our second trip to the saloon, and then I'm going to pick up the trash cans on the way. You might get lucky. You might not. Alright, so we're going to talk to Clint. And then we're going to talk to Shane. Shane's a sulky alcoholic. Pretty much. Alright, so introduction is 27 out of 28. So you might be thinking, well, Star, there's 2 people left on your social list. How is it you only need 1? Wizard doesn't count. He's a special character. As strange as that sounds, he actually doesn't count. Alright, now if you're lucky and you've managed to find something to eat during the day, you can either eat like a dandelion like I did, or eat some of those spring onions that you found. But what you want to do now is you're going to empty out everything. Grab this, grab all these seeds. Whatever seed you bought. Gonna have to make a little more room here. And then it's going to get really dark, so it's going to get kind of hard to see. But do the best you can. going to put the cauliflower there. Then one more run. Now, bear in mind that if you plant too much stuff, it's going to be really hard to keep it all watered, because you don't have a whole lot of energy, so don't go overboard. Something about as much as what I've got here is probably good. It's still going to require a considerable amount of time to water it, but it's not going to drive your energy down too far, because you're going to need to keep energy for other stuff. And so you very rapidly get starved. There is a way to make light sources to help you out. Alright, so we got that watered. And the other thing you want to make sure you try to get done by midnight. So right now it's 10:30. Now as far as the stuff that I have, you want to try to sell stuff because you want to make a little bit of money. So I'm going to grab all of this stuff here, and I'm going to grab like 10 of these. And I'm going to grab like, I'm going to take 5 of these. And I'm going to take like 3 of these. Now you're going to walk over here, and this bin is your shipping bin. And if you right click on it, just click on everything else, you drop it in there. And that'll get picked up by the mayor. See, this is why we turned that on, so you can see inside here. And then when you're done, go ahead and walk into your bed and hit yes to sleep. And then whatever you... Okay, so first off, it's going to count all of your work that you did. And whatever work that you've done, you're going to be credited with a level possibly, and it gives you crafting recipes. So we got level 1 foraging, which means now that our foraging skills are a little bit better. So we use less energy for our axe. And then everything we sold gets divided up into 5 different categories, and it breaks down the individual items if you click on that little plus button I did, and it shows you how much each item is worth. And then okay, so for this particular run I made about 320 gold, which is pretty good. I really don't need to spend any money on day 2, thankfully, because I got plenty of seeds. If you happen not to get enough seeds, then go ahead and get more. And then do the same thing with your TV. Make a habit of checking your TV every morning. Now, it'll say rain. If you happen to get a rain day on the 3rd day, awesome. Alright, check your mailbox. Pierre's talking about a backpack. Hey, Willie says that I just came back from a fishing trip. Come down to the beach. So we're gonna make an effort to go to the beach. And this is why I said don't go overboard with your seeds, because you got to water all these by hand. And unfortunately, since you've got all the starting tools, it means that you have to click on everything. And you do use up a pretty good chunk of stamina for watering. Now we're gonna have to take another walk. We're gonna have to walk all the way south, back to where we found those onions in the forest, because we want to grab a few more. But before we do that, we have to chop down some more trees, because we need more wood. So we're going to put that away, grab our handy axe, and then just go after the big trees like last time. And what I'm doing is I'm mouse wheeling through my inventory there. You can manually click the numbers. It's basically the numbers 1 through 0 and then the plus and minus key on your keyboard. But if you learn how to mouse wheel it, it makes it a lot faster. And then sometimes when you chop down the trees, they'll pop out their random nuts. So that one gave me an acorn. The acorns, the maple trees, and the pine trees all have a different nut that they sometimes drop. Alright, so we have 53 wood. So same thing, we're going to craft the box. We're going to leave the box in our inventory because we're not using it just yet. Everything is going to go in here. And then, alright, we're going to head straight south. I'm going to pretty much keep everything in inventory. Now, here, remember I said about not cutting the grass? Well, here we're going to have to kind of chop our way through because we need a walkway. And like I said, it'll help us move faster later. And we're going to have to chop up just enough stuff to make a walkway out of here. So once you do this, this stuff generally doesn't come back. So I said generally it doesn't. Sometimes it will. Alright, there we go. So we got a semi-clear walkway. And they said we're going to head straight south. And then stuff like this, like you said, the weeds, it doesn't cost you any energy. So I'll do a little weed whacker run as I'm going through here. Don't go too far out of your way right now, just hit the couple of them that are close by. And then we're looking for more spring onions. Hopefully we get a couple. Otherwise, okay, there we go. Otherwise we might be in a little bit of trouble. Won't be the end of the world, but it'll just make it, you know, yeah, it's gonna be, okay. So it's gonna be a little tough. Because your energy level is less than half. Or around half, a little bit less, depending on how much you had to water. So, oh yeah. By the way, if you open it up, it's a quest to visit Willie by 5 p.m. on the beach. We'll get there way ahead of then. But that's where we're heading right now. Like I said, I'm going to be skipping cutscenes, so if you want to see the cutscenes, just, unless it's something special, I'm going to skip cutscenes. Oh yeah, try not to check trash cans too close to people unless you're out of their line of sight because they'll have a bad reaction. Oh look! You got one of these. They'll literally pop up anywhere. I got a problem. Alright, we're going to have to get rid of this newspaper. I need room. Alright, so we're going to skip this. Basically what that cutscene is, he gives you this bamboo pole. Now what the bamboo pole does, it allows you to fish. Now before you leave here, go in here and talk to Willie. Even though you talk to him in that cutscene, it doesn't count. Walk around, do that, and you'll see journal updated. And instead of introductions, now it says you have to give somebody a gift. We're going to cheese this one a little bit because there's a really easy person to give a gift to. Oh, look at this. Oh boy, I've got more stuff than I can... Well, I'm gonna eat my spring onions. Okay, now if you run into this situation where you have more stuff than you can carry, which I'm going to have that problem, it looks like. Going to get rid of this clay. No, I don't. No, actually, no. I'm going to get rid of the stone. Yeah, if you're close enough to the farm, run back and just drop your stuff in the box in your farm. If not, you can throw away the worthless stuff. Start with your sap, then stone isn't going to be a big deal. And then just run straight north on your way through. Stop by here. Evelyn says she wants a wild horseradish. Odds are you should find one, so if you don't think you're going to find the item, don't take it, but if you don't happen to complete them, it doesn't hurt you. Now I'm going to hit accept on it because odds are I should run into a horseradish. I should. Now you'll have the day you accept it and then the day after by whatever, I think like by 6 p.m. or whatever the time is the last time you can talk to the person to complete the quest. So make sure that you give yourself time to complete a quest if you take it. Some of the quests are different. Alright, so why did we make this box? Okay, so this box is going to go over here. This is a good spot. If you put the box in the wrong spot, like the villagers can walk on it and potentially destroy it. And I'm going to make it a really bright color so I know it's there. Then we'll drop all of our extra stuff in here. And I'm literally going to drop all my tools in here for now. I'm just going to take my bamboo pole. And then we're going to stand right about here and we're going to go fishing. Now I'm really good at fishing, so I'm going to make this look easier than it really is. It's not hard, but it's not like super easy either. And it can take some time. But the fishing is your friend. Wow, this is taking a while. Okay, orange Jesus bean salt. Alright, so as soon as you see that wiggle, click it, left click, and then your first one should be a relatively easy fish. The goal is to try to keep the fish in the center of the bar. If you do keep it, it'll get a perfect. If not, you'll get the catch. So you saw that little green bar that showed up on the side. That's the catch meter. Once you get it filled, you'll catch the fish. So the tutorial, 9 times out of 10, will give you a sunfish, unless you're at the ocean, then it might give you a sardine or something. But You don't normally catch sunfish in this lake, by the way. It's just the way the tutorial works. So anyway, once you catch that one, try to get as close to maximum as you can, and then just pay attention. Try to catch the fish. With the bamboo pole, it's really hard to keep things centered. If you get lucky, you get a carp like I did. And then just keep casting. This is pretty much what you can do the rest of the day. The rest of your day 2 is just going to be all about the fish. You want to catch as many as possible. And you're not going to catch too many because this rod is really weak, and you are too. If you're lucky, you might get 10. Now, some fish move more than others, so you're going to have to chase... Oh, if you get a treasure box like that, you have to catch the fish as high as you can first. If you get lucky, the fish in the box might be in the same spot. Okay, let's see. Like that. But what you want to try to do is get the fish as close as you can to the top without catching it, and then run back and catch the box. If you do catch both of them... Wow, I got a big one. If you do catch both of them, you get a big experience boost to your fishing skill, and then you get whatever's inside the box, which in this case is a geode and some stone, which is really nice. Each cast uses the same amount of energy, so eventually you're going to run out of energy. They say if you're really lucky, you might get 10 fish. If you get at least 5, you're doing good. And if you miss, don't worry about it. And they said this starter rod takes some time. What you're trying to do here is catch as many fish as possible and try to get your level up. You want to try, if you're absolutely completely lucky, you should be able to get level 2 fishing. You can actually double level, but it's really hard. And see, even I'm having a little bit of trouble here. You just have to kind of stay with it. If it gets too low, you'll lose it, but if you can keep up with it, eventually you'll catch it. Just give yourself time to do it. You can hold the button or tap the button on your mouse to change the speed of how far it goes up. Wow, that little chub actually gave me a problem. Alright, so there's the 5 fish. So, like I said, anything beyond the 5 is just bonus for me now. And as you level up, you'll notice your line gets longer. And that's actually a good thing because the further you can throw your line, the easier it is. Now you see over here, those bubbles right there? Those can be your friend if you're able to touch them. Now with this little baby rod, bamboo pole, and your weak fishing level, you might not be able to hit it. Considering where it is, I'm going to give it a shot though. Alright, so... Oh, see? Well, there's a horseradish. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to hit that. Now you can hold left and right while you're casting, and you can adjust the angle a little bit. That one didn't quite reach. I might not be able to reach it. But if you cast, don't pull it back up. Let it sit there and try to catch a fish. Basically what these bubbles are, they're kind of like a bait. It improves the chances that you catch a fish. And they go away real quick sometimes. If you lose them, don't worry. Don't cry, they'll come back. You'll have another day. Live to fish another day. There we go. Yeah, you'll see that it said that ting that you heard is basically I caught a larger version of that fish. The game records how many fish it caught and what size they are. The size really doesn't have anything special other than just to be like a fish story. You know how like fishermen will say, well, yeah, I caught one that was like 500 pounds. Well, you actually have proof that you caught like a giant clunker of a fish. There we go. That one was a carp. So I got a perfect. If you get a perfect, you get a bonus on the experience too. So the cream of the crop is if you get a perfect on a fish with the treasure box, which is kind of hard to do because the fish in the treasure box have to be in the exact same space almost. But now, if you start to run low on energy, oh no, what do? I don't have any more food left. All my onions are gone. How am I going to get more energy to keep fishing, Star? Well, the secret to that is your chub here. Your chub is actually You don't want to eat too many of your fish, but if you have to eat your fish, choose the chub. The chub, based on the amount of money they give you and the amount of energy that they have, you're losing the least amount of money for your effort. Now, the worst thing that can happen is I get a treasure box because I've only got one empty space here. Yeah, and it gets a little bit easier to fish as you level up. Like, your catch area gets bigger and the fish do get a little bit slower. Alright, so we're going to go down here. We're going to drop our inventory. Pick our chub back up. That's why you want to bring boxes with you. You can put boxes, you can pretty much put anything you want anywhere in the valley in this game. And as long as a character won't stand there at some point, like completely stand still, they won't destroy the item. So like if I were to put it like right here instead, Sebastian actually comes here and smokes, and he would destroy it. See, here comes Sebastian. Algae. If you get algae, go ahead and eat it right away, unless you're almost done with the night. Typically, you want to watch your time here. So like the time when it gets to about 10 o'clock or so. See, like right, if I put the box right there and he stopped there, the box would just vanish because he would destroy it. That can happen. So you have to watch people and be careful. Okay, so now it's almost about 8 o'clock at night. I caught that piece of algae, which means it gave me a little bit more energy. And any pieces of garbage items like these driftwood and stuff, for instance, don't throw them away unless, you have to sacrifice it for a fish. That's what the box is for. If you can, run back to the box and drop it in there. If you have to get rid of it, no big deal. But make sure you're not sacrificing the fish for it. And fish in most places typically do change, depending on if it's raining, if it's sunny, if it's daytime, it's nighttime, all that good stuff. So you see my energy's almost out. Based on the time, I probably won't stay here too much longer. You typically want to try to get done by about 10 o'clock. So it gives you time to run back to the farm. And you can do last minute foraging too if you want. Possibly another carp. There we go. So fishing uses up a lot of energy when you first do it because you're very weak. And fishing is the most demanding activity, oddly enough. I think it includes the time it takes to reel it in and stuff like that in the energy calculation when you cast it. So if you cast and pull the line back up, you'll have wasted all that energy. Alright, so here's the box. This is what I was talking about. Wait until the bar gets almost up there. Jump up to the box. And then quickly jump back down to the fish and try to catch it before you lose the bar on the side. You see what I just did there? Yeah, you won't perfect the fish that way, but the experience you get from the box plus the fish is worth more than the fish is perfect. And plus, hey, I got another Geo. Alright, last cast. We'll throw one more out there. And I got 31 energy, so I still got some energy left. You don't have to burn out your energy at the end of the night. But, alright, here we go again. We're gonna do the dance of the box. Like I said, I make this look actually a lot easier than it really is because I've been playing this game so long. I can judge my casting distances and stuff. Alright, so we got a carp and we got bait. We can't put bait on this rod, but we'll be able to use it at some point. And some wood. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop these in here. I typically like to keep a couple of the fish in this box for a reason. So we're going to keep those 2 chub in here. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take these 4. I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to leave him in there. I'm going to leave him in there. And I'm going to take these 3 gold ones. I'm going to take the clam. I'm going to take the cockle. I'm going to take the horseradish because I need that for a quest. And then I'm going to take the wood, the coal, the fiber, and the clay back with me. Well, actually no. I'm going to leave the coal here. I'm going to leave the fiber open. I forgot, you want to leave a couple of spaces. And then we're just going to... Oh. Or I forgot. Hold on. I forgot you want to take all those with you. I'm gonna leave the copper behind. Now you want to leave at least one. If you can't, try to leave at least one space. I forgot I gotta take my tools back with me. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd have a little bit of a problem tomorrow morning when I went to go chop trees down. And like I said, it's dark, so it's really hard to see, but you get used to it. Once you get used to the layout of the farm, you can just navigate yourself based on the path color. And and make sure you keep your scythe with you at all times, just in case you accidentally hit it, you don't lose energy. All right, so we're gonna put all of our tools away for right now. I'm gonna put the horseradish away, and I'm gonna sell these. This is gonna make us some money. This is gonna make us a pretty good amount of money. And I'm not worried about my inventory right now. Go to sleep. And we got level 1 fishing. It's possible you might get level 2. If not, no big deal. But the level 1 fishing means that you use less energy fishing now. And then you can check how much you made on your fish. This is actually not a bad amount. You know, we've got that, plus we got the clam there. So this is not a bad amount here. Now, since it's Wednesday, Pierre is closed. So we can't buy anything for him, even if we want to. And we're going to check the weather report. They said this should be a habit by now. And, oh yeah, spirits are very happy today, so the RNG is going to be on our side. So thankfully today we don't have to water. So that gives us some help. We're going to grab our axe, pickaxe, and hoe and our scythe right now. Well, in the right order. Alright, so I'm going to go chop down some more trees. Right? There's a reason for that. We need another box. Yeah, right now we're still not chopping all the little stuff. We just want to go after the big stuff right now. We are going to take a day pretty soon and just chop lots of trees down, but today's not the day for it. Because today we're going to work on the money that we need for a very, very cool item. We're at about 1,000 gold right now, which is really good. If you're at about 1,000 like I am, I'm at 915, so if you're right around there, you're doing okay. Alright, so there we go. We're going to drop all that in there. Going to make another box. You're going to notice this is a pattern. I make lots of boxes. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to take our scythe, we're going to take our hoe, and then we're going to take our fishing pole. That's the only things we're going to need to take with us besides the box. The reason being is we don't need to carry around a lot of stuff. Because we're going to go fishing again. We're going to go to the exact same place we were before, but we're going to make a pit stop on the way. And this is why I cleared all that, because you walk slower when you go through that tall grass. And yes, eventually, like I said, everything on here we're going to clean up, but we just don't do it right now. Always have your scythe selected. And I know I said something about cheesing that quest about the gift giving. We just haven't been able to do it yet. Well, I could have done it, but you know what? I forgot to bring the horseradish with me, guys. Sometimes I do that. I'll forget to bring an item with me. That's easy. We can go back and grab it. I'm gonna go back to the farm anyways. Yeah, check everywhere. Make sure you grab as many onions as you can if you're really lucky. All right. Oh, unless we run into another horseradish. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the. All right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a box right here. There's a reason for this one. And like I said, we're gonna make it bright red. I'm just gonna drop that in there. Even though I really don't have to, but nice thing is nothing bad happens to any of your boxes and stuff that you put anywhere. The only things that could possibly damage it, like I said, if a character stands on it or if the errant lightning bolt hits it. and lightning doesn't happen too often, especially in the spring. Yeah, so if you do something like this, you do waste a little bit of time, but as long as you remember to go back and do it right away, it's not that big of a waste. Alright, so yeah, we want a horseradish because we're going to go talk to Evelyn. We're going to give her the horseradish and complete the quest with her. Now, if you do these quests, they do a couple things depending on what type of quest it is. Oh, cool. And yeah, check up here again. We got a daffodil and a leek. And we got, oh wow, and we got a freaking, we got a little bit of everything there. Okay. Awesome! Now I'm going to take a U-turn and go kill this stuff real quick. Just going to do this because I can. The gardening, that only takes a second. Alright, so no other quests today. And I'm gonna go check the beach real quick. And see if there's anything down here. Sometimes you'll find a horde of stuff, sometimes you won't find anything, but it's still worth walking down here. Yeah, this is why we keep the hoe with us. Oh wow, gold ore. Nice. That's actually really rare for this early in the game, so I really got lucky there. And yeah, don't worry about talking to the villagers at this point unless you're really, really hard up on trying to get your relationships going. You can pretty much ignore them for right now, except for doing their quests. Alright, so this is Evelyn's house. Select your horseradish. Make sure you walk around to her. And she's going to say, hey, thank you. Talk to her again afterwards, just because it's a relationship point. And then you'll get the quest mark done, and it'll show you the money. I'm not going to collect it right now, because I use that for like a piggy bank. I'll complete all those quests, and then I will go back and I'll use them like a piggy bank, hold the money until I need it for something, and then I'll collect them all at once. You can do whatever you want, but I like to do it that way so it prevents me from spending it by accident. Alright, so now you know this is about 12 here. If I hadn't forgotten a horseradish, it'd probably be like 11 instead. I didn't lose too much time. Let's see, I think Linus is in his tent. So this is how we're going to cheese this. Okay, so we're going to give him the daffodil. And how to win friends, you get money for that too. So that's how you can cheese with Linus. You can give him anything you pick up off the ground. Spring onion, a leek, any of this stuff. I try to give him a daffodil though because a daffodil doesn't give energy if you eat it. So okay, so we're going to drop everything in here except for the onions. We're going to keep the onions on us right now. And right back to the fishing. And yeah, you're fishing in the rain. And so your goal is to pick up another 5 or 6 fish. You want to try to get level 2 today, for sure. And it takes some time, unfortunately. But there's a couple of different things we need. If we get really, really lucky with the fish, we might get enough money to do a couple of things that we want to do, but tomorrow we definitely want to buy at least one item or another. That's right. Remember, eat the algae first, if you get it. Algae's worth almost nothing. The spring onions aren't worth anything either, so that's why we carry them. If we don't use them, we'll just put them in the box. Now whoa, get back here. I almost lost that fish. It's a downside with the small catch area. Yeah, plenty of largemouth bass are the best thing that can happen to you. And we got bait, and we got a coal. I'm going to eat this algae real quick. Frees up inventory space on top of it and gives me back a little bit of energy. Now I know with the rain it can be kind of hard to see because the rain leaves little spots, but if you see the bubbles there, you can try to go after them too. But yeah, those treasure chests would definitely help with my experience points. And you can't see how much experience you get, but there is a table available online that pretty much shows you how much everything is worth. And if you get a max cast like I did there, it boosts your chance of a better quality fish. You'll get like the stars on them, and if you collect the treasure chest, it makes the treasure a little bit better sometimes. And since it's a lucky day, that luck RNG is boosted when you do that. So it works out both ways. Even on an unlucky day, you still can get good items. This seems to be a carp. Possibly. Could be a chub too. No, it's not a carp. Carp don't jump like that. Oh, it's another largemouth. Oh. Largemouth are worth a good amount of money, so they're the definite prize fish that you want to get. The more of those you get, the better. And there's certain parts I'm not going to talk that much just because, I mean, you're just going to have to sit and watch. I may not have anything to say about the subject. Or I'll just be focusing on what I'm doing. This is more like a carp. Like I said, getting perfects on these fish is helpful. Not required, but helpful. It gets you leveled up that much faster. So like, say like that carp is normally worth like 10 experience points, then that perfect made it like 13. So like I said, it's helpful. I'm probably going to dump everything in the box here in a sec. Yep, we'll go dump everything in the box. We'll go like this. Remember, eat the algae. Yeah, while you're eating or stuff, you can't move the mouse cursor, but you can go up to the bar and click on the item so you can select the tool that you want while you're eating something. Helpful little trick to save you a second or two. This is part of the reason why we don't walk around with our full set of tools either, because it gives us the opportunity to carry more stuff. Ooh. Oh, you're going to be nice to me. Hey, thank you. Alright, we got another bass. Nice. And got another geode. Nice. The geodes are worth getting, just because they help out with a few things that you need to do in the game. And they're a money sink a little bit too, so if you happen to be flush with money and you need something to do, pay to have the geodes processed. It says possible to get level 2 in the first day, and it's possible to get level 3 today. So it is entirely possible to get 3 levels in the first 2 days. Unlikely, but possible. So you pretty much have to have God tier RNG to do it. There you go. Like I said, you'll notice my fish catch area is getting a little bit bigger every so often. That's because I'm leveling up. And it slows the fish down too slightly. When you get higher levels, you become stronger, so the fish will get weaker in comparison because their level will match yours. Like at your level 0, everything is stronger than you except like 1 or 2 fish. The carp are level 1, the sunfish are level 1, and everything else is like level 2 or level 3. Except for one particular fish that I could try to catch, but he's like level 4 or 5, and he's really, really hard to catch. He's worth a lot more money, but it's almost not worth attempting to catch it just because of how much of a pain in the butt it is. And a new player will probably cry because they'll waste all their time trying to catch it, never catch it. I can barely catch it if I try really hard, but it's really hard to keep up with them, especially with this dinky rod. Like I said, don't worry about the perfects. If you can't get them, don't worry about them. Just focus on the catch. So focusing on the catch will make sure that you get the fish, and then as you get better with the catch mechanic, then work on your perfects. Alrighty. And normally I would do this with my camera on, but because I want this tutorials to be completely visible on the screen, that's why I don't have my camera on. But I will be hosting this on my YouTube channel as well as my Twitch channel. Alright, so we're doing really good on fish here. Really, really good. Getting a lot of them with silver stars, which means they're worth a little bit more. Which is very useful to us right now. Like I said, your miles may vary. You may not catch nearly as much. So some of your money may have to come from your foragings or whatever. Like I said, everybody's going to run into a different set of circumstances. It's almost 8 o'clock. Actually, it is 8 o'clock. There you go. So we're about 2 hours from ending our fishing for today. See, there's the bubbles way down there, but we can't reach them. You can just barely see it by my energy meter. Alright, we're going to do this real quick. I like to run through and just clean out my inventory when I get down to the end, just in case. And I've got enough energy to cast about 6 or 7 more times. I may not need to use it all, but if we have a little bit of energy left over, we can go do something on the farm real quick, even though it'll be dark. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sticking with me up to this point. This has been part 1 of the Stardew Valley tutorial. I hope everyone appreciated it. I will post part 2 on YouTube at a later date. And yeah, hit that like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And also check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/rstarphoenix. And I will see you all next time. Until then, have a good day.